What is up, everybody? It's your boy Dizzy, and it's Wednesday, halfway through the week. That means it's halftime. Thank you for tuning in to Halftime with Dizzy. This video, as you can probably see by the length of it, it's going to be short and sweet. No one told me that when you go to college, you actually have to do homework, turn in work. So I got a lot of work that I got to do and catch up on. But I thought I'd squeeze in the video real quick. Going to talk some college football, some NFL football, things that happened over the weekend, and things to come up this weekend. Let's get right into it. Alright, this first segment we got right here is going to be called Hot Takes, and it's just going to be some opinions I have in the football world, and I'm going to give a short description as to why I feel that way. And of course, I could be spot on, I could be dead wrong, only time will tell. But before we get into it, be sure you hit that like button. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. If you're not new, make sure you're sharing with a friend. Comment down below if you agree, disagree with anything I gotta say, and if you have a hot take of your own. Let's get right into it. Starting off with number one, USC's defense will keep Lincoln Riley from yet again making it to the big dance. And notice I said Lincoln Riley, I didn't say USC. The reason why I said Lincoln Riley is because as a head coach, Lincoln Riley has a history of this. He has a history of having big-time offenses that are going to be explosive, that are going to light up the scoreboard, have big-name quarterbacks. I mean, Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts, just to name a few. And, of course, now Caleb Williams. You have guys like that leading your offense, which is all great, but you don't have anyone on defense to stop the other team. And it's been like that for most of Lincoln Riley's career. As you can see the numbers right here, man. Pass yards, and you can see where they rank in the Pac-12. Passing yards 9th, rush yards 11th, points allowed 8. And the reason why I feel it's important to point this out is that they haven't played none of the top dogs, especially in the Pac-12. They haven't played Washington yet. They haven't played Oregon yet. And they also have Notre Dame on the schedule. So if they want to be a true contender like everyone thinks they can be, they're going to have to tighten things up on the defense. If not, they'll go to a bowl game like they normally do, and then they'll be on the couch with me watching the National College Playoffs. Number two, staying in the Pac-12, my take, Colorado will make a bowl game this year. I don't know if that's necessarily a hot take. Let me know in the comments if you agree, you disagree. I think with that, also, they will upset someone this year. To end the year, they face Oregon State, Washington State, and Utah, who are all ranked, and I think they're going to steal one of those games. I don't know which one it is yet. I think as we get closer and closer, I may make up my mind on that, but I think they'll steal at least one of those, and I think they'll wind up in a bowl game, and we'll be talking about Deion Sanders as creating one of the biggest turnarounds in college football history. Leading me to number three, speaking of, big names in college football. This one's a hot take, and this is my last one for college football. The Dabo Dynasty is getting ready to fall. Yeah, I said it. The Dabo Dynasty over at Clemson is falling. And when I say that, I don't necessarily mean Dabo is going to get fired or they're going to move on from Dabo, nothing like that. What I mean by that is we've associated Dabo with dominance, Clemson with dominance. They go undefeated, go to the national championship, all those things. We haven't seen that. We haven't seen that since Trevor Lawrence left. And right now, they start off the season 3-2 in their first 5 games. And the last time they did that, says here, was in 2014. Last time they started off 3-2 was in 2014, and their 2 losses were to number 12 ranked Georgia and number 1 ranked Florida State. Their 2 losses this year are to Duke, who's not ranked, didn't start off ranked, wasn't ranked until Duke beat them, and to Florida State, who, of course, has elevated in the ranks and is now ranked 4th. But again, that dominance that we're accustomed to seeing, it's not there right now over in Clemson, and they still have some tough opponents on the schedule. They still got to go play North Carolina. They got to play Notre Dame. They got to play Miami. They can very easily have 3 more L's coming up, and it can be one of Dabo's worst seasons as the head coach over at Clemson. So I think the decline is beginning, and whether it's now, whether it's later, change might happen. Change needs to happen in order for them to turn this around. They got to get some more guys in there, but like I said, the Dabo dynasty is falling. Moving on to NFL, staying with these hot takes, man. The New York Giants will miss the playoffs again. If you watch them play, maybe this isn't necessarily a hot take, but it is to me considering where they came from. Last year they were a playoff team. They won a playoff game. They pay Daniel Jones. They pay Saquon. They bring in Darren Waller. You're expecting this team to be better. You're expecting this team to build off what they did last year. But, I mean, this offense is just, it's not good. If we look at the numbers here, you can see the difference between last year and this year. Last year, and it's alarming, some of these things, man. Last year, he threw 5 interceptions in the whole regular season. This year, he's already thrown 6. Last year, he was sacked 44 times in the whole regular season. This year, through only 4 games, he's been sacked 22 times. Which is half of last year. And if the numbers kind of keep going the way they're going, he's gonna be sacked at a historical rate by the end of this year. So they need to figure things out over in New York. Both New York teams, obviously, but the Giants especially, is really disappointing to see kind of the drop off from last year to this year. There's some sort of disconnect, and sadly, they're not gonna make the playoffs. I'm sorry. And that leads me to my next take, which is that the Minnesota Vikings will also miss the playoffs. Their start has been horrendous as well. The turnovers, it's turnover after turnover. They still lead the league in turnovers. And it just goes to show that no matter how talented you are, if you're not disciplined enough to hold on to the ball, then you're not going to win football games. Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson, if you look at the numbers, you'll say that they're top 2 quarterback wide receiver duo in the league if you just look at the passing yards and the completions and the touchdowns. But then you look at the win column, they're not winning games. And it's because they're turning the ball over. Kirk Cousins threw 2 interceptions again this past weekend in their win over the Carolina Panthers. But really, I'm looking at their start, and I'm also looking at their division. Detroit is looking really good. The Packers aren't. They don't have a significant drop off after losing Aaron Rodgers, so I think it's going to be tough for them, especially considering you're going to have San Francisco and Seattle most likely come out the West. You're going to have Philadelphia and the Cowboys come out the East. You're going to have probably Tampa, maybe even New Orleans come out the South. It's going to be hard for the Vikings to be possibly a third team to come out the North. I don't think they're going to do it. I think they'll miss the playoffs this year. My final take of this segment, hot takes, man, is that the Houston Texans will win the AFC South. Now, I know that's probably not a super bold thing to say because of how bad the South looks and has been for the last few years, but if you know anything about football and the Houston Texans, you also know that they've been really bad over the last however many years. But gotta give it to CJ Stroud, man. He is balling. He's top 5 in passing yards, and he has that team looking really good. And I think they've definitely been underestimated. I think the new head coach, DeMeco Ryans, definitely underestimated. No one really, I think everyone kind of saw what they were doing and thought, okay, maybe in a few years they'll be decent, but definitely didn't see it coming now. But they're saying, hey, we here now. And just looking at their schedule, I think they have the opportunity to win a lot more games and to, like I said, be the number 1 team out the AFC South. They got the Falcons, the Saints, the Panthers, the Buccaneers, Bengals, Cardinals, Jaguars, Broncos, Jets, Titans, Browns, Titans again, and then the Colts to end it off. So I can definitely see them winning at least half of these games, and finishing with a record over 500 and making the playoffs, man. And because they'll be probably that fourth seed if they were to be the number one team out the South. So those are my hot takes. 3 for college football, 3 for NFL. After seeing the first few weeks of the season, let me know what you think down below. Moving on to some pick'ems. You know we got to do it every single time that you see my face on here. We got to do some college football pick'ems as well as some NFL pick'ems. Got some good ones on here. And the first one, it's an upset. I'm picking the upset. Number 11th ranked Alabama going down to Texas A&M. I got Texas A&M winning this game. Jimbo Fisher, he's on the hot seat. He's got to do something to keep his job. I mean, you keep bringing in all these recruits, and it hasn't really been paying off. You got to beat Alabama. It's at Texas A&M. I know that stadium's going to be rocking. I got Texas A&M with the upset. Next up, number 12, Oklahoma going to number 3, Texas. Another big game in the state of Texas. I'm going to take the Texas Longhorns to win this game. I think the way Quinn Ewers is leading that team, they're hot right now. They're real hot right now, and I think they'll pick up this win over Oklahoma. And the last one for college, LSU versus number 21 ranked Missouri. I got LSU winning this game. When you look at Missouri and who they played, they haven't really played anyone very challenging. So they're 5-0, but those 5 wins aren't against big-time opponents, where LSU has played some big-time opponents and they're battle-tested. So I think they'll go to Missouri and beat Missouri. Moving on to the NFL, it's the toilet bowl between the Jets and the Broncos. The Jets are going to go down to Denver and face the Broncos. I got the Jets win this game. I think their defense is going to give Russell Wilson problems. And I think Nathaniel Hackett's going to call some plays with a little extra motivation behind it because of all the stuff Sean Payton was saying before the season. I like the Jets to win this game. Next, the Saints going down to the Patriots in New England. Both teams coming off some bad losses, gonna want to bounce back. I think the Saints will pull this one out. Mac Jones has not looked good. He didn't look good against Dallas's defense last week, and the Saints have a pretty good defense, so I think the Saints will pull this one off. And the last one, the game that everyone's going to be tuned into, Cowboys going down to San Francisco to face the 49ers. Cowboys look really, really good against the Patriots. Their defense, Dak looked decent. But I'll be damned. I'll be damned if I pick them to beat the 49ers, because the 49ers, they're the best team in football right now. They're the full package. They have a great defense, great offense. Their head coach calling plays that no one can stop. I mean, and I just feel like Dallas will not have enough to stop the 49ers offensively, especially with Trayvon Diggs out, and some of the things that the 49ers do will exploit some of the things that Dallas isn't very good at. And allow me to show you right here on the film. So one of the things that Dallas struggled with when they lost to Arizona was defending the run. You're going to see a run here. It's designs like this. Going to motion guys over to get an extra blocker. He's going to block. Kittle's going to block out. But here's who you need to pay attention to. These two guys right here. They're going to double team this guy off the line and get up to the next level. When you got guys that are going to move to the next level like this, you're destined to have big-time run plays, especially when you have a big-time back like Christian McCaffrey to take a 2nd and 4 and turn it into a 20-yard game. Another thing that San Francisco is really good at is they're going to motion guys over. They're going to have a lot of pre-snap movement to get your eyes one way, and then Brock Purdy's just going to turn around and hit a read on the other side that kind of gets lost because you're worried about whoever's motioning to whatever side. So for example, Kittle's going to shift over, then he's going to fast motion over, And if you pause it here at the snap of the ball, you got guys looking this direction. I mean, he's over here, he's over here, he's over here, his eyes are over here. And it's going to open up this little area right here for Ayuk to fall into. Purdy's going to find him. And that's an easy completion, easy first down. Another example here. Debo's going to fast motion out. Kittle's going to run it out. Ayuk's going to go over there. So all the attention is going to be going that direction. So ball snap. So if you stop here, again, you got your routes going out this way. This guy's eyes and his body are going that way, and it's going to open up this little area here for the running back to run to. Another easy completion and an easy first down. Now, this last play, we talk about the creativity of Kyle Shanahan a lot, but when you have guys like Christian McCaffrey, it doesn't matter what you call. But here we go. It's a simple screenplay. Kittle's going to block down. Your center, you see him right here. He's going to get out to the next level. Debo's going to run off. Juice is going to block here. And again, when you have guys that are going to make plays like this, it doesn't really matter what you call because they're going to find the end zone. Christian McCaffrey, for the last few years, you've kind of heard different names. You know, the Derrick Henrys, the Nick Chubbs, the Saquon Barkleys, Alvin Kamara's. You hear, Jonathan Taylor, Josh Jacobs. I mean, the list goes on and on of names that you kind of put at the top. Christian McCaffrey has reinserted himself as the best running back in football right now, and that's without a doubt. So I just gave you some reasons, some highlights as to why San Francisco is so good, and that was without highlights of Dabo and Kittle. Ayuk has some very big catches down the field. Purdy is accurate and is not throwing incompletions because he's not afraid to take the check downs, take the running back out the backfield, things of that nature. And I think that will negate the pass rush of Dallas. If Michael Parsons doesn't have time to get to Brock Purdy, he won't get the sack. And I think Brock Purdy's going to get the ball out of his hands quick, and that'll keep Dallas from sacking the quarterback. And ultimately, it'll come down to Dak having to make plays against San Francisco's defense. And we've already seen in the past what happens when Dak has to do that. So I'm going to take San Francisco over the Dallas Cowboys, and I'm going to predict the score to be 24-10 San Francisco. Finishing it off with the halftime speech. I told you this was going to be a short and sweet video, but no matter the length of the video, we got to finish it off with the halftime speech. Get through the rest of the game, get through the rest of the week, get through the rest of life, man. So what I have to say to you today is don't base your life on other people's blessings. I'm going to say that again. Don't base your life on other people's blessings. What I mean by that is a lot of times we get caught up, especially in social media, seeing what someone else has, seeing what someone else got, whether it's, oh, they got a new car, or they got the job promotion, or they got, a new house, they got, this girl, they got this guy, whatever the case may be. We can't allow what someone else has to dictate our mood and the way we view ourselves. We can't sit there and think anything different of us. We can't sit there and think, well, why don't I have that? Well, why can't I have that? God has a plan for everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter where you're at in your life. God has a plan for you, and you just have to stick it out. You just have to keep working, and you will see exactly what that is, and you will see all the blessings that He has waiting for you. You just gotta wait it out. You can't sit there and envy or be jealous of others, because that's only going to drain you more. That's only going to bring your mood down, and that's only going to lead you to darker places. And I've had times in my life where I sat there and I'm like, well, why don't I have this? Why don't I have that? And like I just said, it drained me. It had me down. It had me sad and mad all the time. And I told myself I wasn't going to do that anymore, and I've been happy ever since. So focus on you. Focus on your blessings. Stay in your lane. Make sure that anything and everything you do it with a smile on your face, and everything will work itself out. As always, if you're still watching, thank you so much. I love you. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe if you're new. If you're not, make sure to share with a friend. In the next video, I really want to get a lot more interaction. So if you have a take, if you have a response to anything I said in this video, make sure to drop a comment, send me a video on the DMs, whatever it is, and I'll get you on the next video, and I'll respond to whatever it is you say. And just stay tuned. I have another video for you real soon.